Think, Pair, Share is a simple, low-tech activity you can facilitate in class with minimal preparation. The activity asks students to think of an answer to a question and discuss their answer with a partner before sharing it with the rest of the class. By the end of this activity, students will clearly articulate their thoughts, provide examples supporting their thinking, and evaluate insights in comparison to their peers. But how do you put this into practice? Let's take a look at a Think, Pair, Share in action. It will begin with a prompt for student discussion.
To begin this activity, I want to give you a prompt to reflect on. What are the greatest pitfalls that you see presenters make when they give a presentation?
Students have between 1 to 2 minutes to formulate 5 possible answers to this question. They may take notes to write down their thoughts, but they don't have to. Now that they have considered possible answers to this question, it's time to discuss them with their peers. Students will have 2.5 minutes total for discussion. They should be mindful of the clock and respectful of one another's time. Each student should have at least a minute to speak and share their thoughts.
Are you all ready to pair up?
Yes.
We're ready.
Great. Your time starts now.
Based on the reading last night, I think that one possible pitfall presenters make is an over-reliance on slides. You might get bored or stop listening, especially if they're just reading what's on the slide.
And if there's too much information, you'll lose focus too.
True, or if the slide design is so busy that makes it hard to follow.
What do you mean by slide design?
Well, if the color contrast is too low or there are too many creative fonts, you might hone in on those details instead of actually listening to the presentation.
Okay, sounds like we have 3 pitfalls so far. Over-reliance on slides, poor slide design, and too much text.
Well, I think those last 2 might be the same. Let's go with poor slide design. But presenters who over-explain certain points can be our third, because I've been to presentations where the presenter just drones on and on without getting to the point.
Oh, I agree. Those can be difficult to follow. For our 4th pitfall, I've given presentations myself where I forgot to make the right amount of eye contact. Too much and I forget my notes, too little and I lose the crowd.
Okay, so I'm writing down social cues to keep attention, because I'd argue that it's more than just eye contact. It's also like your hands and the right amount of walking and stuff.
Great. We still need one more. I had here on my list that timing is off, but that seems too similar to our one about speaking. What about when speakers don't speak loud enough? Nothing worse than when I can't hear and I'm all the way in the back.
Yep, that should be our final pitfall. Okay, I think we're done.
It's time for the final part of this activity, where students can share what they discussed with the instructor and the rest of the class.
So what did you learn from speaking with each other, and did it change your original thoughts?
Yes, so these are the pitfalls we came up with. For our first pitfall, over-reliance on slides, we felt that some presenters can rely too heavily on slides.
Groups can share the insights from their discussion for 1 to 2 minutes. Time permitting, every group can share out.
Interesting. So thank you for sharing. So what I like to do now is call on the other pairs to add to this list so we can ultimately vote on what is the greatest pitfall.
Think, Pair, Share is just one way to structure group work in class. If you're interested in facilitating this or other group activities in your classroom, consider signing up for a consultation with the Learning Science Lab.